Hello students, welcome to Hindustan lecture series. This is Sambat, Assistant Professor CS Department. In this video, we are going to see about the looping statements in C program. Before going to see about the looping statements, we will see what is the use of looping statements. For example, we want to do some job repeatedly in the program. For example, imagine you are going to print your name 10 times. How do you do it? Imagine there is no looping statements. That is, you are going to write the printer to print your name. For example, if you want to print your name 10 times, then you have to write 10 printf statements. If you are going to do it for 10 times, then it's okay. For example, if you are going to print your name for 1000 times or 1 lakh times, then it is not possible to write 1 lakh printf statements. At the same time, the program will be very inefficient and also it takes more time. So whenever you are going to do it some process repeatedly, we are going for looping statements. There are basically three kind of looping statements available. One is for loop, while loop, then do while loop. Now we'll see one by one. First one is for loop. The general syntax for the for loop is like this. We have a standard keyword for followed by three components. The first one is initialization, the second one condition, the third one increment or decrement function. And then we have open braces and then close braces, and within this we have a set of statements. You are going to do it repeatedly. Now, what is this initialization portion? In this portion, what you are going to do is we are going to initialize the variables for the loop. The second one is the condition. So in this portion, we are going to specify the condition under which we are going to terminate this repeated process. The third one is increment or decrement. So in this portion, we are going to mention how we are going to increment the variables. Now we'll see an example for the for loop, then it becomes clear. So this is a very simple basic example. Here the for loop, the initialization component consists of I equal to 1. Then condition is I less than or equal to 10. Then the increment is I plus plus. So let's see how this loop executes. And within this for loop, I just mentioned that I'm going to print hello. So first the value of I is 1, then it will check the condition I less than or equal to 10. That is I is 1. So 1 is less than or equal to 10, the condition is true. Then it will enter into the loop, then it will execute the statement, enter hello. Then again it will go back to the loop, then it will increment I plus plus. Now the value of I is 2. Then again it will check the condition 2 less than or equal to 10. Then again it will come to the loop. Again it will print hello. Then again it will go back to the loop. Now I will be 3, I plus plus. Then 3 less than or equal to 10 it will check. Then it will go back to the loop. Then it will print hello again. So this process keeps on repeating until you reach the value 11. So once the I value reaches 11, 11 less than or equal to 10, that condition becomes false. So automatically this loop gets terminated and it comes out of the loop. Now we'll see an output of this for loop. So this is your output for the previous for loop. So it will just print hello 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it will print 10 times. Let's see another example for the same for loop when it becomes clear. So this is another example for the for loop. The same for loop which is running from I equal to 1 to 10, and within this I am using the printout which is used to print the I values. So I value is nothing but from 1 to 10. So it will print 1 to 10. Once it reaches 10, it will come out of the loop. So the output of the for loop is like this. So it will print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so this is about for loop. Next we will see about while loop. So the general syntax for the while loop is like this. We have a standard keyword called while and followed by condition within the brackets, and then open brackets, close bracket, and within this we have a set of statements. Now the set of statements which is given inside this open and close bracket will get executed, keep on, until this condition becomes false. So till the condition is true, these statements will keep on repeating. Now let's see what's the difference between for and while loop. How we can implement whatever we have implemented using for loop, whether that can be implemented using while loop. Now when you look at this for loop, we have three sections: initialization, condition, then increment or decrement. But when you look at this while condition, you'll have only condition here. You don't have initialization and increment. Now, how do you modify this while loop in such a way that it can include initialization and increment? So the initialization portion can be given before this while loop like this, and the increment or decrement can be given at the end of the while loop like this. Now we will see how to implement the same example whatever we have done using for loop using while loop. So this is an example to print the word hello 10 times. The same thing we have already implemented using for loop. Now I already told you the initialization should be given before the while loop. So I have initialized I equal to 1 before while, and then I am writing a condition in the while statement while I less than or equal to 10, and within this open and bracket I am writing this printf open hello printf hello, and I already told you the increment should be given at the bottom of the while. So I plus plus I have given at the bottom of the while loop. So initially I equal to 1, we'll check the condition 1 less than or equal to 10. The condition is true, then it will enter into the for loop, then it will print hello, then it will increment I, again it will go back to the loop, then it will check 2 less than or equal to 10, the condition is true, then it will go into the loop, print hello, again increment. So keep on repeat this until this condition is false. So until 10 it will keep on repeating. Once I reaches 11 it will come out of the loop. Now we'll see what is the output of this, the same output whatever we got in the for loop. Next we will see another example whatever I have done already for loop, that is it is used to print the I values. Same I equal to 1, I less than or equal to 10 condition, and within this I am going to print the I values. Then the output of this becomes 1 to 10. Next we will see something about do while loop. The general syntax for the do while loop is like this. So you will have a do keyword, then open bracket and close bracket. Within this we have a set of statement, and then at the last you need to specify the condition, while condition followed by semicolon. So other portions like initialization, and increment, decrement, everything as it is in the while loop. So let's see an example. So I equal to 1, which is initialized before this do keyword, and then you have open bracket, close bracket. Within this, I am going to write the statement print of hello. Then you have I plus plus. Then at the end, I have a statement, I have a condition, that is while I less than or equal to 10. So now you see how it executes. Initially I equal to 1, so it will enter into the loop, print of hello, will print hello, then increment I equal to 2, I plus plus. Then check the condition, while I less than or equal to 10. Now the value of I is 2, 2 is less than or equal to 10, so the condition is true, so it will again go back to this loop. Then it will print again hello, then it will increment I equal to 3, then you check the condition 3 less than or equal to 10, then it is true, again you go back to the loop, you keep on repeat this until the I value reaches 11. So once the I value is 11, it will come out of the loop, it will not enter into the loop. Now let's check an output of this do while loop. Same output whatever we got earlier, that is hello is printed 10 times. Now let's see another example which is used to print the I values from 1 to 10. The same do while loop. The initialization is given before the do keyword, and then we have a print of percentage %d, I, then I plus plus, then I less than or equal to 10 condition. So initially I equal to 1, so print the I value, I equal to 1, then increment I, so in the condition I plus plus, it becomes 2, 2 less than or equal to 10. So the condition is true, again enter into the loop, print the I value. Now the I value is 2, so print I value 2, then increment I is 3, 3 less than or equal to 10. The condition is true, again go back to this, print the I value 3, so it will keep on repeat until you reaches the value 11. So the output will become like this, so it will print 1 to 10. Now let's see the small difference between the while and do while loop. So in the while loop what happens is, you have a condition at the beginning, while condition, then open bracket and close bracket. The do while loop what happens is, you have a do statement, open bracket, close bracket, and condition is at the last. So what happens because of this, in the while loop, the condition will be checked first, and then the statements within the while loop gets executed. But in the case of do while loop, what happens is, the statements within the loop gets executed first, then the condition will be checked at the last. Then if the condition is true, again it will go back to the loop. So the main difference is, irrespective of the condition, whether the condition is true or false, the statements within the do while loop gets executed at least once. Okay, but that is not the case with while loop. The while loop, only if the condition is true, it will enter into the loop and it will execute. But in the do while loop, whether the condition is true or false, it will enter into the loop first, it will execute at least one time, and then it will check the condition, and then if the condition is true, again it will enter into the loop. So that's all about the video for the for loop statements. Meet you later.